Chua Pengti, Yun Patisa, Di Juba Jikota, Ki Mulira Kun King.
Got something on your mind, dude? You got yourself a fast little ship? I forgot what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an Uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful. Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing? I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha. Oh, very funny. Is it my fault that some people are so easily annoyed? Like impatient little children with blasters. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Endar Vex was his name. The force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was. No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Endar believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall. I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Endar, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andar's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andar's destiny couldn't be more boring. Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Endar to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, But at the time, they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Carth. Tall fellow, big teeth. Carth has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand. Of course he did. Haven't you been listening? It was not in the way you'd probably expect, though. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Carth decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too. This could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Carth has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing. Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Carth dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you? What, are you kidding? What are the odds of that happening anyway? 1,000,000,000 to 1? You should do so well as to be sucked into the engine of some evil Sith Lord, you know. Andor was a hero. Sort of. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
Yeah, what do you want? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Got something on your mind, dude? No, I never did I? Elusive? Me elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderan Willick juice. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. To bed! I'm old and tired, you know. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? So I could. Well, not having a ship does tend to put a damper on that kind of idea, however. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can't be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day. Nonsense. Have I ever refused to help you when you asked? How confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? I have been doing well, I suppose. As well as I can. But I am more interested in you right now. Do not mistake me. It is just that, even though we have traveled together for a while, it seems I know next to nothing about you personally. We have been traveling together since Dantooine, but I know nothing of you before that. Would you humor me and tell me a little bit about yourself? Your humility is astounding, as always. So what can you tell me? Your job? Your childhood? Your life? I am sorry if I am making you uncomfortable. I will fully understand if you choose not to answer. I greatly appreciate your taking the time to talk to me. How did you come to be on Dantooine? Besides the obvious, of course. Taris. It always seems to come back to Taris for me. I am sorry, I get distracted. What did you do before that? A life in the army. Not my career of choice, though. We Cathar cannot seem to adjust to regimented organizations like the military. But I have heard that it appeals to males of your species. Fighting? Defending? That is what we as Jedi seem to be called upon to do. Perhaps we are not as unalike as I had previously thought. But again, I seem to be wasting your time with my carrying on. I apologize.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Reverend Malak. It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manaan is covered by nothing but vast oceans. The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Carth. But how could Reverend Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
fun.
Sure.
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the galactic senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
Yeah, what are you... Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude. No, really, I should apologize. I should try to control myself, as you Jedi do. Is there anything I can help you with? Well, these damn Sith are everywhere on Manaan, pushing us Republic citizens around, trying to goad us into breaking the law somewhere. Yeah, the Selkath want to maintain their neutrality in this war we're fighting with the Sith, and they enforce it very strictly. So, we just have to sit here and let the Sith insult us, and we can't raise a hand against them. Otherwise, the Republic will face severe Kolto export restrictions, and that could lose us the war altogether. You're joking, right? I'm sorry, but everyone knows what Kolto is. It's the most powerful healing agent in the galaxy. I would have died several times myself if we didn't have this stuff handy. But the reason it's important here is that Kolto is only found naturally on Manaan, and all of our attempts to synthesize it have failed miserably. So, we sit here on the surface, the Selkath harvesting what Kolto bubbles up from the bottom of the ocean, and we buy it from them. Well, us and the Sith, of course. The Selkath don't want to play favorites. The Selkath think that by staying neutral, they can play both sides, selling Kolto to everyone that needs it, and making themselves too valuable to be worth conquering. Well, that, and they threaten to destroy the only natural source of Kolto on the planet if anyone tries to attack them. But I think they're underestimating the length the Sith will go to get what they want. They're probably planning something already. Is there anything else you require? Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
Ah, so we meet again, Taris. It has been quite a long time.
Joggy? He was a warrior under my command up to the Battle of Althir. But I thought...
You thought I was dead, didn't you? You thought all of us that you had sent on that attack had perished. You sent us to die in a foolish attack, while you directed your forces elsewhere. You broke from the battle plan and let us die for it, so that you could have the honor of being the first to kill the enemy commander.
I did what was prudent at the time. If I had not done it, the battle would have...
The battle would have been won anyway. I am tired of your excuses, Taris. I have spent years tracking you down since the clans were banished, and I will not rest until I've had my vengeance. I challenge you, Taris. I challenge you to fight the fight you fled that day above Althir, in the dune seas of Tatooine. I will be waiting for you. I have spread the news of the challenge since I learned you had landed on this world. All the surviving Mandalorian clans know of what I do here, and that we shall meet on Tatooine to settle this debt of vengeance once and for all. If you fail to meet me there, you shall be stripped of all honor and forever cast out of our society. It will be you and me alone in the dune seas of Tatooine. A final battle that can only end in death. I shall be waiting for you there, Canderous.
I've been given a challenge I can't ignore. We've got to go to the dune seas of Tatooine, so I can find Jagi and kill him for his insult to me. This is between me and Jagi. You don't have to get involved. If you're lucky, he might spill something before I spread him in a paste over the dunes.
Got something on your mind, dude? Did I say that? Strange the tricks memory plays on you when you get older. Didn't I say that my past was my affair? You don't see me poking and prodding you with questions, do you? I'm not here to satisfy your curiosity. No staring at the old man, that's what the sign says, damn it. And besides, you don't really want to hear about me. We're talking ancient history. Probably before you were born. History bores kids. Proven fact. Oh, fine, fine. Have it your way. Just don't cry about it later. Yes, I was an adventurer. Happy now? I wasn't even done with my Jedi training back then. I had a full head of hair and an eagerness to see absolutely everything. Sound familiar? The Council was never happy with willful, brash Jolie Bindo, you see. Even less so when I began my smuggling career. Don't look at me like that, damn it. I wasn't always the wrinkled coot I am now, you know. I could still fight, too. So wipe off that smirk I see there. At the time, the Yukata system was interdicted by its own king. He preferred to keep his people starving and poor, all the better to oppress them. The Senate was trying to negotiate a peace, but they were getting nowhere as usual. I decided I wasn't going to wait. I found myself a ship and a partner, and we began smuggling food and supplies to the Yukata citizenry through the blockade. Oh, it was. I was a half-decent pilot in those days, and with the Force guiding me, we made it through some tough spots nobody else would have. Pilot, smuggler, several other things too. Or did you suppose I was always a crotchety hermit? Well, we didn't buy all the equipment per se. Some were happy to donate goods. Some we just, knew had more than they could use. Stole is such a harsh word. They would have donated those goods readily enough if they were compassionate. I considered it a tax on the greedy. We only got caught once. A lone Yukatish frigate shot us down and forced a crash landing. I thought the Force had abandoned me, as I remember. Well, as it happens, Getting shot down turned out to be very fortunate. That day was the day well, that was the day I met my wife. You know another way to get a wife? But yes, that's when I met her. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to stop talking now. My mouth is starting to draw flies. Got something on your mind, dude? Oh, I get it. The Jedi Council wouldn't approve, but they always were a little stodgy about using the Force on people. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Obey the laws here on Manaan, human.
I heard the Sith are trying to work on a synthetic version of Kulto. I'm surprised if the Republic was too.
Your precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
Kakincha nawabakaon. Pichage borang turang. Nada chawa ishun kun. No bamurira tilai puka. Kan ibora tong chitsa. Chesko yohaba. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune. Tong hitwama aki inko tune. Potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku kakinja na wabakaon, pichage borang turang, nada chawa ishu. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Tong padokun, non jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kui. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Tong padokun, nonek, chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chita ngai, uchua penki. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Tong padokun, non. Chiwa aita kang kicha na chupornibo. Kun muri ras nimo poiwanga. Tong hitwama ji human acting ikatune. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune, chuna muri ra. Tong hitwama ji kona. Tong kipa nonku nek abog. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Tong padokun, nonek, chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki muri ra kung king, kingba no kung nik lota. Chiwa aita kang kicha na chupornibo. Kun muri ra snimo poiwanga, tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Tong padokun, nonek, chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chita na. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Tong padokun, nonek, chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki muri ra kung king, kingba no kung nik lota. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chita ngai, uchua penki. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Tong padokun, no. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chita ngai, uchua penki. Topa na oto vokasa, yubabato kamchi, datuka ulan. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune, chuna muri ra. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune, chuna muri ra. Tong hitwama ji kona. Tong kipa no. Chiwa aita kang kicha na chupornibo. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune, chuna muri ra. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Tong padokun. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, Lamora nga winki smack toma, tong hitwama ak itinko tune. Potong himama ji aki iko tu. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu. Lamora nga winki smack toma, tong hitwama ak itinko tune. Potong himama ji aki iko. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu. Lamora nga winki smack toma, tong hitwama ak itinko tune. Potong himama ji aki iko. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu. Lamora nga winki smack toma, tong hitwama ak itinko tune. Potong himama ji aki iko tu.
I cannot render assistance, citizen.
How much for all this stuff, Tybark?
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune, chunamuri ra. Tong hitwama jiko na.
Thanks, Tybark. Catch you next week. I always shop here. Tybark's prices are the best in the city.
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune, chunamuri ra. Just cranky to patslemo. Chi ita kanki, chana kilikon. Kinba muli ra dwanaji. Kinba no kunikset abo achua pengti. Yun patisa. Di juba ji kotka naga. Kingunwa. Tong hitwama ak itinko tune. Potong himama ji aki inko tun. Tong panokun, nonek. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki muli ra kun kin. Kinba no kunik dota.
I'm sorry, I'm on duty, citizen. Please refer any questions to our diplomatic corps. Thank you.
Welcome to Manaan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid. Kolto is a precious resource. Its healing powers are near miraculous. During times of war, Kolto becomes even more valuable. As long as we have the permits, we will continue to harvest Kolto and ship it to our Republic soldiers battling against the Sith. Of course, the Sith enjoy the very same privileges. If there was some way we could gain an edge over the Sith in our Kolto supply, but the Selkath are fiercely protective of their neutrality in this conflict. They do not want to grant either side an advantage. Oh, of course I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council. An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manaan? Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first. We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Ahto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Phoraxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back. It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manaan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones, we have no one capable of entering the Sith base and retrieving it. That is what we would ask you to do. There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far. Good. It's a logical place to start. But you should also hear about the other options available to you. We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to gain access that way. Good. It is a very intelligent and skilled individual who can crack the matrices of a Sith encryption system. But there is one last method you should know about in case all other options fail. The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith Masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance to the Sith Enclave. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a passcard to that hangar on him. While it is surely well guarded, it may prove to be the most direct route. Here's the card. The Sith base itself is very heavily guarded. If they became aware of your presence, I fear you would be quickly outnumbered and killed. Here is a pass card to get you inside our facility. You should find all you need to get started in there. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the data recording back. Which method do you think you would like to try first? You'll need luck for that one. Odds are they have some pretty strong guards in there, but it's also the way most likely to succeed. I wish you luck in your task. Should you retrieve the data recording from the droid, return it here to me, and we can see about getting you that information.
Yokosawa Wisyun-kun, Chiwi Aita ka Chonchicha. Chiska Nichu, Kinba Muli Radwanaji, Kinba Noku Nixat Abog. The Huba Botenia go Gigi Piti, Just Crunky do Patslemo, Chino Molirani Bubo, Chiska Nichu, Kinba Muli Radwanaji, the Huba Botenia go Gigi Piti, Just Crunky do Patslemo, the Huba Botenia go Gigi Piti, Just Crunky do Patslemo. The Huba Botenia go Gigi Piti, Just Crunky do Patslemo, Chino Molirani Bubo.
So, you're the one Roland has got to help us interrogate this prisoner. I hope your Jedi powers will come in useful. This one has been most resistant. He's a Sith spy we picked up a little while ago, snooping around outside trying to get in. We thought he was suspicious and brought him inside when the Selkath weren't looking. But it seems the Sith have done a pretty good job of conditioning this guy, and we haven't been able to break him yet. The Sith protect their really important spies with some sort of mental force feedback system. They can turn their minds in on themselves, so force compulsions won't affect them. Combine this with conventional training to resist interrogation, and sometimes it takes months to get them to tell what they know. Do you want to interrogate him now? Well, the training the Sith gave him will protect him from most normal interrogation techniques, and also from force persuasion. We have found a few hooks you might find useful. He was with another man when he was first spotted. We think it was another spy, but we didn't manage to catch him. We also seized some personal documents he had on him when he was captured. It would seem that he's married to a woman named Tila. We checked this in our computers, and it seems to hold up. We've sent a couple of agents to investigate, but it may be a while. What we have here is your standard issue truth serum. It should make him spill his guts in no time. But there is a catch. Because of his conditioning, he's able to resist it at small doses. But if you give him too much, his body realizes what you're trying to do and shuts his mind down completely. If you do that, you'll have to inject him with an antidote that neutralizes the truth serum. Unfortunately, that too has a drawback. It causes short-term memory loss. This may work to your advantage because you can try the same tactic over and over again. But if you use it too much, you may forget everything we want to know. Shall we get it started then? Hey you, wake up. Someone wants to talk to you.
What do you want? What companion?
Of course, they would never believe we let you go so easily, but they would all too happily believe you betrayed them.
You can't do this to me. They would kill me in ways too horrible for you to imagine. What do you want? Tila? How did you find out about her? All right. I'll tell you what you want to know.
What's the passcode to the Sith base?
It's Zeta 245698 Alpha. Just no more.
Good. With this pass, you should be able to get into the Sith base without trouble. Just don't delay too long, or they might learn that he's been captured.
Ujua penki, tongi tuama ji, iman asin. Chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Tongi tuama aki cinco tune. Tongi tuama ji aki cinco tune. Tong panokun, nonek. Chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Ki mulira kungkin, chiwa ai chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Agi inko tune, chuna mulira. Tongi mama chikona, chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo. Kun mulira snimo poiwan. Kiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smack toma. Kuyami jusku chitanai. Uchua penki. Topa na otobo kasa, yutong hitwama aki cinco tune, potong hitwama ji aki, jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma. Tong hitwama aki cinco tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, tong hitwama aki cinco tune, potong himama ji aki inkotu, chiwi aita ka chong chicha, agi inkotu ne chunamuri ra. Chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo, kun muri ra snimo poiwanga. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smaktoma, Kuyami jusku chitanai, tong hitwama aki inkotune, potong hitwama ji aki inko, chiwi aita ka chong chicha, agi inkotune, chunamuri ra. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smaktoma, Kuyami jusku chitanai, chiwa aita kan kicha na jupornibo. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha, agi inkotune chunamuri ra. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha, agi inkotune chunamuri ra. Tangi mama chiko na, chiwa aita kan kicha na chupor chiwi aita ka chong chicha, ki nuli ra kung king. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha.
Hey, this street is for Sith only. You gotta pay a 20 credit toll to walk down this street. You talk big, but remember what we did to Taris. Maybe you're next on our list.
We might have a position within the Sith organization for one such as you.
Your offer is pretty good, but I've heard some nasty things about you, Sith. Is it true you bombed Taris into dust?
This is war. In war, certain distasteful acts cannot be avoided. But ask yourself this, when we win this war, would you rather be against the Sith or with us?
You make a good point. And I'd never turn down a job that pays up front.
Excellent. Report to the Sith Embassy tomorrow for your assignment. I have no desire to speak to you. I know you have links to the Republic.
Sorry, but you're too late to recruit me. I've just hired on with the Sith. Of course, if the Republic has a better offer. Hey, keep your lectures. The Sith pay well, and they pay up front. That's all I care about.
The whole swoop racing circuit for this sector has been falling apart since the Sith bombed Taris.
Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thao donga. Tongai tuam jiji yumalit pa ang inkotu. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thao donga. Tongai tuam jiji yumalit pa ang inkotu. Tolba da bunko.
What do you want? I don't waste time with fans. So if this is about an autoprint, forget it. You can buy one when I get more made up. Wait, you're that new racer. I don't give out racing secrets, if that's what you're asking for. We'll get it over with. Don't hurry back.
Mucho shakapaga. Ye ki kon no ba. Mucho shakapaga. Ye ki kon no ba mula draki.
Don't expect a warm hello from me. I don't have much warmth for the racer that outranked me in my round. Don't hurry back.
Got something on your mind, dude? I don't want to talk about that. Maybe, but I doubt it. I'm made stubborn that way. Got something on your mind, dude? I don't want to talk about that. Now that's a unique method of getting someone to talk. Thunder about like a bantha in a circuit shop. Does that work for you often? Let me tell you something. Once you've lived as many years as I have, you'll have yourself a long, long list of memories. If you're lucky, most of them will be good. If you're not, some will be bad. If you're really unlucky, some will be so bad you'll never want to be reminded of them again, ever. You'll go far away, to a place that doesn't hold any memories at all. And there you'll be happy just to forget and be forgotten. You say that now, but I'm talking to you from across the breadth of many years' experience. That is a gap I simply can't cross for you. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in love? Truly in love, I mean, and not simple infatuation. Exactly. You're still at the beginning of your life. There will be women in your life, perhaps many women. But if you're fortunate, you'll find love once. The Jedi, with their damnable sense of over-caution, would tell you love is something to avoid. Thankfully, anyone who's even partially alive knows that's not true. Love doesn't lead to the dark side. Passion can lead to rage and fear, and can be controlled. But passion is not the same thing as love. Controlling your passions while being in love, that's what they should teach you to beware. But love itself will save you, not condemn you. Listen to me go on as if I had all the answers. What do I know of love anymore? I'm just a lonely old man who's not even a Jedi. Maybe. Do you want to avoid the greatest things in life simply because they come with some complications? Love causes pain, certainly. Inevitably, love is going to lead to as much sorrow and regret as it does joy. I suppose there are perfect, eternal loves out there, but I haven't seen any. And how do you deal with the bad part of love is what determines your character. What determines the dark side's hold over you. I suppose it could. It would take a strong person to make that kind of commitment, I think. Someone with a great sense of self. I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you and the one you love simply aren't meant to be together. The trick is to know when that is. To know when it's time to fight and when it's time to part ways. There I go, waxing philosophical again. Somebody blast me already. Let's get going before I start talking in riddles, damn it.
You sure you're not a pro? You sure seem to know what you're doing out there.
You got any armor plating for my spook bike? I thought this garbage was free. You actually sell this junk? You fish are a strange breed. Don't worry, junk man. When I want garbage, I'll be back.
Move about your business, human.
Only people who have business with the Sith are allowed inside the embassy. Oh, really? You mean someone like you actually has some real purpose inside? Well then, what is it? Yes, well, I suppose you really do have some business here. Head on in.
Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thaudonga tulpada bonk molia gando da tongai tuam jiji yumalit pa ang inkotu. Tulpada bunk walia Rundi haudonga kuhungabi. Wana kunbes. Jink palamul tong kachi chu ai thaudonga. Yinkin kuno bamulira jinkun. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thaudonga tulpada bonk molia gando da nago chuchut. Rundi haudonga kuhungabi. Wana kunbes. Tonghai tuam jiji yumalit pa ang inkotu. Tulpada bunk walia gando de nago chuchut. Kachi chuai thaudunga. Yumalit ka inkotun. Chilo mulra de nebobo. Unko kun biskang. Bamulara. Kachi chuai thaudunga. Yinkin kuno bamulira chinkun. Slima podonna. Rundi haudonga kun hunkabi. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thaudonga. Tulpada bonk molia gando da nago chuchut. Moga shampungpa. Olawana chikni. Bamul slik mo poda na wanga kun bist mulira best. Tonghai tuam jiji yumalit pa ang inkotu. Tulpada bunk walia gando de nago chuchut. Kachi chuai.
Enough time to listen to your stories. I've got a full shipment of Calta ready to load before my shift is over.
Got something on your mind, too? What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. The man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. But to become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I knew. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. Or so I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. I don't expect much these days.
Jody, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jody. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jody. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Alora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Alora. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow.
So, do we have a deal?
That's an awful lot of money. Is there something you're not telling me?
Don't be so suspicious. The Republic is generous. We pay our mercenaries well.
Makes sense, I guess. All right, I'm in. When do I start?
Just show up at the Republic Embassy tomorrow and speak to our representative there. I'm sure I'll have some task he wants you to start on right away. Do you mind? I'm in the middle of a Republic recruiting drive right now. I need to hire these mercenaries before they sign up with the Sith. In case you hadn't noticed, there's a war on. If we don't hire these mercs, the Sith will. Now excuse me, I have to continue my recruitments.
I have no desire to speak to you. I know you have links to the Republic.
You're new around here, aren't you? My name's Duan. Care to buy a Sith girl a drink? That is, unless you're one of those simpering Republic soldiers. Well, some of the soldiers like to go and bet on the swoops on their day off, but this planet is bad enough without mingling with the locals. It isn't easy here, you know. Not with all the Republic soldiers walking the streets while we sit and do absolutely nothing. Malak should send a fleet in and conquer this whole sector, Kolto or no. But I don't really want to talk about that right now. I'm just here to have a couple of drinks and try to unwind, you know? We Sith are interested in a lot of things. If you're smart, you'll stay out of Sith business. But I don't really want to talk about that right now. I'm just here to have a couple of drinks and try to unwind, you know?
Are you some kind of historian or something? You should forget about the past, look towards the future. That's why I joined the Sith. The Republic is old news. And then I get stuck on Manaan, the worst post in the galaxy. It isn't easy here, you know. Not with all the Republic soldiers walking the streets while we sit and do absolute... But I don't really want to talk about that right now. Oh, I get it. I get a little bit wild, and you want to hold it against me. Come on, what's the matter? Afraid I'll drink you under the table? Hey, if you're not man enough to keep up, who needs you? Seems I'm not ladylike enough for some men. Well, I may be a woman, but I'm still a soldier. Barkeep, bring me another round.
For a while, the Republic were hiring anyone they could get their hands on. Now they don't have any use for us mercs. It's too bad. I could have used the work.
I am not for hire. Perhaps the Mandalorian or the Achani can help you, though they lack the stomach for certain jobs. They lack the resolve to do what needs to be done. The Achani believe in a non-existent warrior code of honor, and the Mandalorians prize credits above bloodshed, but I am Iridorian. Honor comes from slaying your opponent, and the true reward of any job is the taste of your foe's dying blood on your tongue. Ask whatever you wish, though you may find some of my answers distasteful. Perhaps, but my business with the Selkath is my own. An Iridorian has no friends, though I feel a strange kinship with you. You do not seem like the others of this world. Even the Sith here do not understand our kind. The Sith sought to buy my loyalty with credits, as if wealth could somehow quench my burning bloodlust. They would have been better off hiring a Achani for the errands they had me running. The task paid well, but was boring, and beneath me. I was told to lure the Selkath youth to the Sith embassy. Nothing more. I lied, I threatened, I promised, and I brought the most promising youth of the fish people to the Sith, and there I left them. To what purpose, I neither know nor care. Perhaps when the Sith learn I have betrayed their secret, they will try to kill me. I would welcome the excitement.
Sounds like a recruiting drive to me. We used to use it on planets we had conquered. Get them while they're young and impressionable.
Is there more you would ask of me, human? Yes, I'm not surprised. There are few on this watery world who feel comfortable in my presence.
I hope you're here to play some Pazak. I don't come here looking for sparkling conversation. So clear out already.
Did I tell you I'm a fan? I saw recordings of some of your races, and you are great. Maybe when they get the circuit back up, we can really see what you can do.
Be careful here, kid. Start poking your nose in a place it doesn't belong, and you might not like what you find.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers. They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight.
One day soon, the Selkath will pay for the indignities they have inflicted on the Sith!
I'm sick of hearing about Manaan's neutrality. It sounds like a coward's excuse not to fight, if you ask me.
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him. Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious. Got something on your mind, dude? Oh, I get it. Yes?
What is it? How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Well, I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that. In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds. Cathar was there, yes. My people had a great reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world, slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran. They swooped down from space, across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, we did stave them off for quite a while. But in the end, we were doomed. We were not members of the Republic. Cathar was beyond the edge of the Republic, and the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the first war against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships there remained, and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it. My parents carried me as a baby with them, and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able, and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard. My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die. Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry. I cannot talk about this any longer right now.
sulla camionista, ti burro tu sangue.